Welcome back. This is episode 3 of our Armchair travel program, Sailing the Bahamas. I'm Mike, and I remain your captain. Where are we headed this episode? Okay, we've been to Bimini, Gun Key, the Sapona. Let's head over to Marsh Harbor on Great Abaco Island. That's in the upper right of our chart. Note how far it is. Miami to Bimini took 10 hours. This trip will take 3 days and 2 nights, anchored at sea. Our voyage planning and provisioning better be very good for this part of the trip. After a long sail, we made it. Let's berth at the Marsh Harbor Marina and look around. There are many marinas in Marsh Harbor. This one was the cheapest, and with enough amenities to make it worth renting a slip. Marsh Harbor and all its marinas are inside the harbor, protected from the Atlantic wind and waves. A sad note, this and all the other marinas in Marsh Harbor were destroyed by Hurricane Dorian in 2019. The marina, as well as others, is still not fully operational. What does a marina have to offer that anchoring out doesn't? Well, a bar and a restaurant just a short walk away. You don't need to use your dinghy. Notice the beer bottle. Click beer is brewed and bottled in the Bahamas. That's always my first beverage after securing the boat. Notice the chart coordinates in the guy's shirt at the bar? Coordinates for the Soggy Dollar Bar on Jost Van Dyke Island in the British Virgin Islands. What else does a marina offer? Well, restrooms that aren't moving when you try to use them. And a nice place to relax and cool off. Maybe even socialize with other sailors. Just a short walk from this marina, over on the Atlantic side, there's an excellent snorkeling reef called Mermaid Reef. You just need to swim out to it. It's out there by that catamaran. Say maybe 100 yards? I snorkeled with many of these fish, at least the ones in the upper right of this chart, at Mermaid Reef. Snorkeling is one of my favorite things to do in the islands. So many fish, and so much more colorful than here, offshore Florida. Let's take a ferry over to Hopetown, a small settlement on Elbow Key. It has the most photographed lighthouse in the Bahamas. It's only 8 minutes from Marsh Harbor by ferry. This is Hopetown, almost all of it. Way in the distance is Marsh Harbor, where we berthed our sailboat. Can you see it on the horizon? And see the dark patches in the water just offshore on the lower part of this photo. Those are coral heads, coral reefs, just barely underwater. Can you find the famous Hopetown lighthouse? Here it is. You can even climb the 101 spiraling steps and look out from the top. This is one of the only kerosene-powered, hand-cranked lighthouses left in the world. Built in the early 1860s, it was not always the subject of wonder and amazement like it is today. In fact, once construction had begun, the locals became very unhappy and angry. Hopetown's economy at that time was greatly boosted by their wrecking trade, which essentially means they would wait for ships to run aground on the reefs surrounding the town, and they would pay townspeople to repair the boats. Hopetown is a tourist stop, but also has year-round residents and second homes for those that can afford them. It's very expensive here. People come from all over the world and have nailed up these signposts back to their homes. The town is on a small key, Elbow Key, and has picturesque island residences and shops. Absolutely worth a day exploring on foot. This was a one-room business selling sewn goods, clothes, canvas items. Both the sales floor and manufacturing area are in the same room in this building. An interesting street right on the water. This is one of the streets where the ferry from Marsh Harbor stops. The blue building on the left is, I think, the police department. Beside the red umbrella on the right is a place that sells really cold beer. Harbor's Edge Restaurant. Fantastic view, overhanging Hopetown Harbor. You can relax and have a great meal here while enjoying the breeze. And spend your entire sailing kitty really quickly. The lighthouse to the right. You can see it from everywhere. Let's take the ferry back to Marsh Harbor and our berth at the marina. And to make ready for sail, we'll head south again. Let's go to Spanish Wells down by Eleuthera Island. Can you find that town on our chart? We will travel from Great Abaco Island to Eleuthera Island. Abaco to Eleuthera, crossing the Northeast Providence Channel. What do you see all along this part of our voyage? Water, no land for hours, and you're at the edge of the Atlantic with usually large rolling waves. All you hear is the flapping, snapping sails, the rushing water splashing against the hull. It will take us 2 days to make this trip. We'll spend the night on the way, anchored by a tiny key. If you have plotted your course correctly and followed it, you'll see the Spanish Wells Harbor entrance. This photo was taken from a hill overlooking the harbor, looking out to sea. You can see this large black tank from on your boat deck while at sea. It can help guide you in. But look how narrow the entrance is. And see the lighter colored water on the right of the photo? Some even with bushes growing out of it? That's really shallow. The last time I sailed into this harbor, I promptly ran aground. I read the channel markers wrong. This fella and his small boat came and offered assistance. We gave him the end of our mainsail halyard, and with his Suzuki 140-horse outboard, he had us heeling at 40 degrees, which lifted our keel out of the sandy bottom. That's a lot of sailing terms. What do they mean? To be a sailor, there are lots of terms to know. We just spoke of the mainsail halyard and the keel. Can you find them in these diagrams? The mainsail halyard is a rope that hoists the mainsail up the mast. See the blue arrow? The keel is the part of the boat that is deepest in the water. How about the red arrow? Heeling isn't a part of a sailboat, but refers to how far the boat is leaning over. This boat has run hard aground, but is an example of a 45-degree heel. Can you imagine standing or functioning on a boat that's heeling at just 40 degrees? Just a little less than this. So let's get her in her slip in the marina and relax after our 2 days and a night out on the water. Notice our dock lines fore and aft. That's the front and the back. Like everything else while sailing, there's the proper way to tie dock lines to cleats on the boat and cleats or pilings on the dock so they won't come undone on their own. You certainly don't want to go into town and return to find your boat floated away. So where are we? Spanish Wells Yacht Haven and Resort features a swimming pool and a restaurant and bar serving Mediterranean Bahamian cuisine. Also located on this site are laundry facilities and showers for marina guests. These are 2 important features for sailors who have been at sea for extended periods of time. But remember, where is the first place a sailor visits when on shore leave? Yep, rum and coke, Jack and Diet Jameson's. Couple of really, really cold clicks. Spanish Wells is a town that's not really on Eleuthera Island. It's on St. George's Key. This entire key is only 1/3 of a mile wide and 1 3/4 miles long. Luckily, it's only 1,600 feet from the much larger Eleuthera. There is no bridge between them, but there are small boats called water taxis to take you back and forth. The red line traces our path through the harbor entrance, including our going aground, to our marina. Can you pick out the large black tank that guides you in from the sea? We spoke of it earlier. Hint, the yellow arrow. Time to explore St. George's Key. Check out this bus and sign. Found a place to eat. Buddha's Liquor and Restaurant. It's an outdoor place. No walls. Then found an even better place. Indoors and air-conditioned. Wait. No prices. Danger. You can find spectacular homes, beautiful workmanship, and satellite TV. Also, regular homes, a bit older, and maybe on smaller lots. Very, very colorful homes. And homes with great views, like this one. Check out this colorful place right on the beach. It's available as a vacation rental. Besides a touristy place, Spanish Wells is a fishing village. These trawlers are active and fish the Bahama banks all the way to Cuba. They will be out for days at a time. Trawling is a method of fishing that involves actively dragging or pulling a net through the water behind one or more trawlers. Those long arms you see are lowered, and the nets are attached to the ends of them. Here's a trawler with its nets extended, but up out of the water. Hey, that's me. How did this get in here? Well, I do enjoy sailing and exploring the islands. I hope you're enjoying it too. By the way, that's the entrance to Spanish Wells Harbor in the background. Where to next? The town of Governor's Harbor, halfway down Eleuthera Island.